Okay, I'm here today with Chelsey. I'd like to throw it over to you, Chelsey, to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Allison. So, hello, everybody. Half a day. Guahusi Chelsey Cruz. Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsey Cruz. I'm currently calling in from Kumeyaay territory, also known as San Diego, California. And my brief introduction was in the Chamorro native language, which I am indigenous Chamorro from the island of Guahan, a part of the Marianas Islands. So part of what I do is I am a social media co-creator where I host um, podcast conversations on lived experiences and life testimonies. A lot of these lived experiences are hard conversations to have. So the goal is to humanize the conversations and utilize our lived experiences as education, awareness, and prevention.
Wow, fantastic. I can see why we're like-minded there, Chelsey. And if
Yes.
there's any support that we can give you, please let us know. There's been some fantastic stories that have come up in the 100 Stories campaign. Some local here to Australia and some all over the world, which is fantastic to see. And a warm welcome to, I have the traditional bloodline of the Peruvian Incas. So welcome to this feature, 100 Stories campaign. But the power of lived experience is very important. Okay, let me just get started in asking you, what is one mental health tactic that you yourself use to help support your well-being on a daily basis?
The biggest thing that I try to do to support my mental health is disconnecting from a lot of the things that are going on around us, and not in a way to be disconnected or disassociated from it, to be very well conscious about it, but also knowing when to take a pause. So my biggest thing is going into nature, and I know a lot of us say that, and sometimes we don't normally apply it, but the biggest thing is being kind to myself and meeting myself where I truly am, not comparing what I think I need from either my friends or my peers' advice, because we all go through these specific things in our specific ways. So yeah, getting into nature, just sitting there, nature is the easiest thing to do, and just meeting ourselves where we are, and being very, very compassionate with our process.
Mm-hmm. You know what I love about the suggestion to connect with nature is it's free. You know, our planet is all around us. It doesn't have to be a barrier for us to go back and connect to our grounding roots. So what a fantastic suggestion.
Yes, yes, yeah, it's free. It's the easiest thing that you can do. We have nature all around us, like you said, just going outside of the door and looking at the sky. I know sometimes we feel like our problems are very, very big, and something like looking at the sky cannot help us. But I was very surprised to see how impactful those small steps were once I actually started taking them and applying them.
Yeah, you just sent me a reminder to go outside and look up at the sky. I used to love stargazing, you know, when I was much younger. I don't remember the
Yes,
last time I did that. So thanks for the reminder.
no problem.
Okay. My next question to you is, what is your message of hope? You know, someone may need to hear it right now. You may not be going through your worst day. It could be someone's worst day today. What do you think is a message of hope? You have now come through a lot of different things. You have a toolkit of resources and knowledge, but what do you think someone may need to hear today as a message of hope?
My message of hope would be a reminder that we are not our traumas, we are not our life experiences, and we are not our beliefs that no longer serve us. Speaking from personal experience and taking time to actually heal, and a part of healing, which is connecting with my inner child, which is where a lot of these roots from my experiences stemmed from. I recognize that throughout my adolescence, my early childhood and adolescence, I was, of course, adapting and listening to my environment, my parents, my schools, and my communities. As a young adult, I was also, working through these belief systems of what that was. And now now, at the age that I'm at right now, I am just, again, being compassionate with myself and reminding and remembering that I am not my mistakes and my traumas. I've gone through a long part of my life believing that I cannot, that I will not, or that I should not, because of my lack of self-belief through my experiences, and low self-esteem, and maybe non-supportive environment. So just remembering that though we did go through these adverse experiences, it doesn't create who we are. It is a major part of who we are, but it doesn't identify who we are. We get to claim who we are, and the sooner we take that small tiny step to move forward and to identify what that looks like to us, the sooner and the better things will turn around.
I love that. I am not my trauma. It's what a powerful thing to say, or to recall, or to remember, or to live and breathe. And it is a journey. I like hearing that you've mentioned kind of like healing takes its own time, and you've kind of been very beautiful to articulate how there were different phases of life. So when you were younger, being early childhood into adolescence into now, and it's like constantly evolving. We are all evolving. So what a great reminder. Okay, my last question to you is, why prevention? A lot of people are coming from a space of having experienced health being a clinical model that tends to be on the crisis or intervention end, and I'm a huge advocate for this prevention space. But why prevention? Do you have any insights that you can share with us as to why prevention may be an important lens to focus on?
Yeah, I am still growing and learning what education and prevention and awareness looks like through me. I know we have our traditional and a sense of what that looks like, but I'm also challenging myself to push these boundaries to really identify what it truly means to us. So for right now, where I'm at right now, I believe that prevention is important because it allows access to a lot of people who may not have the education or the awareness about the experiences that they're going through. And that's why I shared that it's important to remember and recognize and apply that we're not our traumas. With prevention, we can provide access, again, like education and awareness projects or initiatives to continue to grow and learn. And I think that with prevention, that education is a big part to it as well, because unfortunately, where I'm from, though it is such an amazing place and has so much education to offer, something like mental health was not really normalized, let alone humanized for us to even sit down and have the conversation. So that's a little bit about what I feel.
Yeah, fantastic. I still go back to the fact that you were saying, because remember, we are not our traumas. Every day we have experiences and we will come across adversity. And yes, some will be traumatic experiences, but these do not need to define us. We do need to move through them. Beautiful. Are there any further comments that you would like to add, or any additional parts of your story that you would like to share with us here today?
I just want to thank you all in Mind Blank for doing the 100 stories, and for anybody that comes across from this, including the people that have been a part of the 100 stories and the people at Mind Blank. I just want to say that I'm greatly appreciative for this initiative, and I want to remind everyone to continue meeting and loving their inner child.
Oh, what a beautiful message. Will do. And Chelsey, we are more than happy to connect you with other people to share across your podcast. What a fantastic initiative. And there's a lot of power in the lived experience stories going out there and sharing insights for other people. So I'd like to thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing more of the 100 stories as we continue going on. My last quick one to you is, if anyone wants to stay in touch, how can they find you?
Thank you very much. Yes, so my podcast is called the Social Progress Podcast. I'm currently on Anchor and Spotify, and I'm working to get on Apple Music. You could also find me on Instagram as well and TikTok, which is Guam Social Progressor, just as it sounds. I know it's a long one, but I try to stretch our brains.
Mm.
Yeah, so Guam Social Progressor, and that's where you can find some of my episodes and some of my videos that I share. Thank you.
Beautiful. All the very best, and we'll connect with more stories shortly.